All right, let's get into it. George FM Drive, what an absolute honour. Forget lamb, forget butter. Our greatest New Zealand export is here with us right now. Zane Lowe.
I like lamb.
No, actually, so do I. Nice little juicy lamb
I'm
cutlet.
happy to be 3 on that list, by the way. Just to cut you some slack. Good to see you. How's it going?
Oh, we're
Bloody
really good. Honestly, so cool to have you
great to be
in
home.
the country, in Aotearoa, but also like in the George studio. This feels
congrats.
a little bit surreal.
This is sick, by the way. I mean, there's always going to be a place in my heart for that, for the
little
spot,
flat.
the villa.
Yeah.
was cool. Had a lot
Yeah.
of character to it, and it was always great to go up there. But yeah, man, this is you did this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Feels very professional of us.
We find it's like the old place had that culture, that vibe, and everything like that. But at some
This
point,
place has mics that work.
yeah. At some point,
and hosts that with it too.
There's something to be said about not working though.
Fair.
That's the thing. It's like at some point you're like, oh, for our career,
Yeah.
because this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to step it up a bit,
know.
especially in things like this. And
I get it.
We definitely have.
You're here for a big occasion.
Yeah, well, for sure, it worked out perfectly. I mean, first of all, shouts to Hamish. I love Hamish. I love that camp and what they've built over the years. And I've done Rhythm and Vines and Rhythm and Ups a few times, and it's always brilliant, professional, and feels like a family experience. Doesn't feel like you're just being hustled in and out for commerce. So he was like, "Hey, man, I'm doing a show with Groove Armada," and I hadn't honestly. Well, I haven't DJed really since the last Rhythm and Vines, because when I went to America and started working at Apple, it became very clear very quickly that was going to would take up all my time. And it has. And so that's not to say I'm not busy, but I was like, it'll be fun. So I sort of agreed to it, and then had that thing of waking up and going, what did I just say yes to? And what am I going to play? And I haven't thought about putting a set together for a long time. So it's been really fun for me. I hope it's going to be fun for everyone else. I can't wait to see you play as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing before you, and I've got a few questions about that, but we'll get to that very shortly.
We're going to trade? We're going to trade records?
Yeah.
Really?
I would love to.
Exactly. Okay.
With the obviously not DJing in so long, are you going to attack this with a similar style as to what you've DJ'd in the past in previous years, with like the quiet party sets, a lot of quick mixing?
Yeah.
Is that just kind of you to a T anyway, so that you'll just fall back into that muscle memory?
It's a good question. I don't know. I sort of started with what I like, and started with what I was listening to, which is, I mean, for me, on a dance music level, I'm really into the earthier, dustier. I always play from a hip hop kind of background, even when I'm playing club records, 4 on the floor, drum and bass, whatever the tempo is. It has to have that feeling that I get when I listen to a Premiere record or a Metro record or something that just feels like, wow, this is hip hop. So yeah, I just went in and started. I just wanted to be tough, so it'll always be tough. And I love some of the harder disco stuff, and there'll be some tribal stuff, and anything that. But yeah, I think I'll move pretty quick. In my head, I'll go, oh no, stretch out, let the record go. I can't help myself, I'm a bit AD DJ like that, I just got to keep going.
Brings the energy. We love it.
Yeah, and also I have so many records I want to play, and this, time is not a DJ's friend unless you're like, Danny Tenaglia or whatever. You can go play 9-hour sets in the bar.
Let it breathe.
Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon, exactly, or Harvey or something. It's really hard, when you've got an hour, because you just want to play everything. So
yeah.
But I'm just most important thing is just gonna have fun. It's me and my wife's wedding anniversary that day. Loads of family in town. My ride is ridiculous.
Oh, how beautiful is
I just
that?
reached out to Hamish. I was like, look, dude, man, just put my entire fee into the rider, bro. Like, I've got so much family and friends in town. Like, just don't worry about it.
Oh, how awesome to share this moment with them and your wife and your family. That is so cool. We are really looking forward to this weekend, and I've got a few questions surrounding that, as I'm the changeover DJ just directly before you. I know that I think you've done a bit of pre-DJ for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Sure. No, I did changeover sets. It's crazy to even think about this. I did Wembley Stadium twice with Muse and twice with Foos. I did changeover sets with a couple of other DJs at Milton Keynes for the Prodigy. I've definitely done some changeover sets. It's fun. It's always fun.
I feel like it's a craft, It's a real skill to be able to be the perfect changeover DJ.
We have even less time.
And also I've got to create the vibe that's not too the same as you, but not too the same as the person before me, and keep the audience there. Yeah. So I thought I'd play you 3 hooks here, and you let me know which one would be the best suited.
Okay.
For you to finish on?
Yeah.
For me to switch on. Yeah, for me to switch on.
This is good too, because then I'll know when I'm drinking with my dad backstage, it's time for me to go get ready.
Yeah.
So this works perfectly. This is like a cue to action.
Okay, here we go. Here's number 1.
I mean, how the fuck do I follow that, man? I mean, don't play that.
What is it? If in doubt, echo out.
I mean, you may as well just play House of Pain, jump around, and I'll just go home. I mean, it's like, how do you follow Rage Against the Machine? It's like,
Okay.
but go for it. It's a good one.
What about this one?
Oh, that's so gross.
Okay, I promise you I'm not going to leave you on that one, but I will leave you on this one.
Oh yeah, man, that's awesome. Sophie Ellis Bextor in the house. That's such a tune. You could play any one of those records, and I would absolutely be honored to go after those.
Oh, that's so sick.
And plus,
I love it.
Yeah, and plus, you know, someone told me once when you're a DJ, you've really got to start again every time you go on and not worry about, like, you got to give people their space to play what they want to play. And I understand the art of building up over a night. But that normally comes from like a really strong sort of club aesthetic,
Yes.
or an environment where the DJs understand what they're playing, what the room they're playing in, and why they're playing it.
Yeah.
I think when you're doing a festival, everyone should just be allowed to just go hard.
I think you've mentioned that to me before, and I think I've said it to you before. It's like same thing. We both have the same
Just go hard.
complex where it's like, oh, but this person's on after me and a bit softer and this, but like Sin always says, like, that's your hour.
Yeah.
And people come and go. They may come for your set for 10 minutes, and when they enter for that 10 minutes, you need to be showing them you.
That's why I
for
love
that 10
touring
minutes.
with people like Skrillex and the Prodigy, because they never cared that I went hard. Like sometimes you play festivals and the DJ come on feel some kind of way because you had the crowd super hype, and they're like, well, your job is to be slightly less exciting than me. And it's like, you go and play with Skrillex at a Future Music Festival, and I'd be on and playing really hard, and he'd just be side of stage like, go harder, like, go harder.
Get them like revved up.
Yeah, you know, and I
sick.
think it's just like really cool when you can just give the space to do what you want. So, you know. That being said, I'm just going to play an hour of Hot Chip and Channel Tres, so let's see how that goes down.
Play Super Styling, surely.
Exactly. Finish with Superstar.
Actually, it's weird that you mentioned that. I'm going to play Breaks Co-op.
Oh, shit, which one? I'd love to know which one.
Entirety. Isn't that one of you got like a 20-minute changeover? You just start
I'm
to
gonna
finish
play
the whole album?
Yeah.
Not a crossfader.
Yeah.
2-second breaks
No.
between.
Yeah, put your hands up in the air. This is duet. Let's go.
Zane Lowe in the studio with us right now. We've just talked about an amazing event that we're both playing this weekend. We're so excited, but we can't go over we can't like just zoom over the past. That you've just had the most beautiful, illustrious music career, and so much of it focused on the other side of the world. We want to share it with our George FM whānau. They need to know that Zane Lowe has done so much for music. You know, Harry Styles, was it
Miley
Cyrus,
Cyrus,
one of my
Kanye.
favourites, Kanye West, most recently Neil Young. I mean, you talk to some pretty big names. What do you learn from these people when you talk to them?
Do you have a bomb explosion you can play, like an effect?
Oh, hold on, let me find something.
I mean, it's like...
I don't have that, but I've got this. Oh, no, I can't play that. Damn it.
I'll do it.
Toot.
I mean, it's well, it's, yeah. Every conversation I go into now, I'm ultimately just trying to be in a moment with these people, because, you know, how do you even talk about Neil Young's past? Like, where do you begin? I mean, he wrote a book for that reason. So what's really good is that when I walk away from any conversation with somebody, I'm less inspired by what they've achieved in the past and more inspired by where they are today.
Oh, cool.
And so for me, that's really great because it's much more applicable. I can't really learn something that he learned 50 years ago making Harvest. But if he tells me something that resonates with me today, I can immediately apply it to my life. And it's probably my favorite part of that job, quote unquote, because I don't look at it as a job, but technically it's a job, is that I am kind of taking my cues, as I said the other day in a post, from the greats. You know, I'm taking my cues. I'm walking away with some things to add to my playbook. You know, so yeah, I learn a huge amount from every conversation that I'm in, but it's more relevant to me now because I'm less preoccupied with what people have achieved and more about where they're going. And that's been a big development for me. I used to really just be in the Wikipedia like everybody else and just try to kind of recontextualize the history of the artist. And now I'm like, if I can get through a whole conversation without asking one question that hasn't existed in the last 2 years, then I'll be really stoked.
Yeah.
Has that made it easier for interviewing because you're not trying to put pressure on yourself, like, oh, what if I forget this small detail
Right.
of their past?
Well, yeah,
and you're just like, you're like, we all know what this person's accomplished, or the people which are interested in about this artist know
Yeah.
what they've accomplished.
Yeah.
What don't they know? Yeah, like you said, where are they going?
Short answer is yes, because I mean it comes with a different set of disciplines, which I had to kind of shift my thinking, which was that I would come in with this kind of whole sort of montage of the history and the new record and this and that, and it would all mold into this kind of narrative in my head. And then I was like, what if you go sort of without a narrative? Like, what if you just listen to the music, feel the music, know what they're trying to achieve with this new record, and then just try to listen. And that's really about the last 4 years ago, I started to just listen to the answer and form my question from the answer, and not sort of feel like I had kind of a pre-designed idea about what I needed to achieve. That's not to say that I don't go in like if you're going in with Neil and Rick, it's like you have
need
to
know your shit.
You need a few little pointers.
Yeah, you have to have some
points.
bullet points in your head that you kind of can rely upon if you need them. But those guys don't want anything but what's happening right then in that moment. That's all they want. They just want to feed off the conversation in that moment. So yeah, it does make it easier once you actually develop the sort of mentality to be in the moment with people. You're just listening. Like that is the best thing that I've learned in the last 4 years, is to actually listen and to let silence be silence, and enjoy the space that people require to actually compose their thoughts, and not feel like I have to fill it, and not panic and not worry, and just trust that it's a conversation, and at the end of it will be what it is, and you move on to the next one.
Oh,
I think that's probably some of the best advice you didn't realize you were giving
Yeah.
to us right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because this is a real thing. Like what we're having right now is a real thing, and you want to make sure that what you present to your listeners and the people that enjoy how you filter things, it's as good as possible. You care about that. I care about what I do. But we're kind of simple and complex species at the same time, and sometimes we make the most simple things complex, and the most complex things we try to simplify too much. And like silence is a complex thing. Like letting someone actually look at you after saying something relatively short and just letting it hang is like one of the communication's most scary things, you know? But it's great. And if you actually acknowledge that it's great and just lean into it, like I love it now. Like I'm all about the silence.
This has been great. Honestly, for us as broadcasters, you know, we're so young. I've been doing this for 5 years. You've been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a cool moment for us. We I'm trying not to cry. It's huge. So thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, dude. Oh, man.
I was so nervous for this chat. Like,
Not at all.
honestly, my messages to you this morning was like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't want to say the wrong things. Like, I'm worried my words won't come out right. But like your ease, your presence, your aura, it's been so calming, and it's been such an awesome moment. Yeah.
I'm only reflecting what you're presenting to me.
Yeah.
It's just a reflection of each other. That's all this stuff is. We're just bouncing images and ideas off one another. We're not. It's all this beautiful little moment where things are just bouncing around the room.
Yeah.
And so. Okay, so you're getting emotional. My eyes are watering. So, you know, it's all a reflection of each other. It's all it is, dude. And, you know, every question you need is in the answer. Because you just want to be as present in the moment as you possibly can. Everything else is just kind of a distraction, I think.
Zane Lowe, thank you so much. What an honour to have you in
you.
the George FM studio. Thank you for coming to our country. How many years with your wife?
23 this Saturday.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks.
A lovely, long, healthy marriage. And
Yeah,
we will see you
the
this
best.
Saturday for a big dance.
Great to meet you guys.